Hello, everybody. It's time for a wonderful adventure. Here is a good example of a game that I typically wouldn't play. Or not a game that I wouldn't play, but that I wouldn't normally make a video, like a Let's Play video out of. Partly because of the subject matter, but also because it's already been done. I think this is a game that's already been done by a lot of people, but people have encouraged me to not deter myself from playing games just because they've been Let's Played by lots of people already. And this is a rather amusing game, so I thought, hey, what the heck? Let's go ahead and enjoy ourselves a little bit. Let's face this game's challenge. As you can see in the title of the game, the object of this game is to not soil our trousers. So let's see if we can achieve this fantastic feat of ingenuity. So yeah, there are some achievements in this game. I think there are 10 of them all total, but we'll see those later. So for now, yeah, you can see the goal is plainly stated right there. Avoid creating an undesirable situation in our undergarments. So, all right, let's go ahead and play the game. This is sort of a text adventure in the sense that there is a command line at the bottom in which you type things. And yes, this is the scenario of the game. We see this this fine gentleman here. He is a fine English gentleman, and he is standing here in his casual wear, in his white. Is that a tank top or some sort of a? I guess it might be called a wife beater or something. So basically, he's there in a white overgarment, and wearing his wonderful cyan-colored trousers, and what appear to be some sort of beach sandals. And so there appears to be some text at the bottom of the screen, which, oh dear. Well, I got the Slow Typer Award, so that appears to be the first of our many achievements. Even though we didn't actually achieve the objective of the game, our fine gentleman with his lovely shirt and sandals did in fact soil his trousers. If we press enter now, we'll see on this awards screen, see in the lower right, we've just won award number 9, Slow Typer. Actually, I think that should be No Typer because I didn't actually type anything, but that's okay. The game is perhaps a little bit confused, but we're not going to hold that against such a fine, fun game such as this, are we? I apologize, by the way. The sound effects in the game might be a little bit overly loud. There really aren't very many sound effects in this game, but unlike in DOSBox, where I can use the mixer command to control the volume, here I don't really have a good way to control the volume. So I apologize. The very few sound effects that do occur in the game might be just a touch loud, but I think we can survive this tragedy. So yes, as you can see, there are 10 awards. 9 of them are numbered, and then there is a final award. So let's see. You see only the titles of the awards. You don't necessarily, well, some of them you can probably guess, but some of these you sort of have to figure out how you would win the award, how in fact you would achieve this momentous, life-altering achievement that is set out before us. Like, what's Mr. Efficient, for example? It's not really clear what Mr. Efficient is. Is that the award for developing a better solar technology that captures more solar energy per square centimeter of solar panel while not soiling our trousers? That would be a good award to win, but I don't think that's the kind of efficiency the game is talking about. So let's go ahead and play again, and I think this time we're going to have to move a little bit faster than last time. So for example, if we just go ahead and defy the game's intentions and just right off the top say, let's go ahead and unload ourselves in our present situation, yes, we'll find that we actually get a different award. We got the Transitioning 101 award for basically doing exactly what the game told us not to do. Yeah, sometimes even 0 effort is rewarded. It's actually not 0 effort because I had to press 4 keys on my keyboard. Actually 5 keys because I had to press enter. So I had to press a whole 5 keys to win that award. So I don't think that's 0 effort, but what can we say? So now we have 2 out of 10. What else is there? Mr. Efficient, so close and yet so far. I don't remember what all these are. I have played this game before, but I don't remember exactly what all of these might be. I think Mr. Efficient, hold on, let's see. Let's go ahead and once again try to avoid painting our trousers brown because they have such a lovely cyan color. I think what we should do actually is, even though I've just spoken about how nice the trousers are, let's go ahead and divest ourselves of them just for a moment. Yes, and we find that our lovely gentleman has had some work done down there because he doesn't appear to have his typical man equipment, but that's all right, we won't hold that against him. And now if we go ahead and release the weasel. Yes. Awesome. So this is Mr. Efficient. We find that in fact it is quite efficient to not really have to do anything other than just stand in one place and let nature take its course. That was certainly a very well thought out process. Yes. So yeah, it's not his fault that the door was so hard to open. After all, perhaps he never learned how to open the door. I mean, what would you do if you'd gone through your entire life and no one had ever shown you how to open a door? Maybe it's not his fault. How would he know? What else do we have here? So close and yet so far. I think that was achieved by, let's see. Let's try to interface with that door. We can see that there is a door in the background. Can we look at the door? Ah, we can. It is a door. Well, that's very interesting. Can we do the fundamental thing that all games have you do? Open door. You're pushing the door, but it won't budge. I think this is a clue that you have to pull the door. Yes, indeed. All right, let's go ahead and sit on our porcelain throne here. And let's go ahead and do what comes naturally. There we go. Yes, we have forgotten to remove our breeches, and they have become filled with a substance that was not intended to fill them, in fact. So that is the So Close and Yet So Far award. Pants, they get you every time. Actually, they don't. They only got me that one time, but they didn't get me the previous times. Actually, I guess they did get me that one previous time, but anyway. Anyway, what else have we here? Oh yes, that one that says beginning at the starting gun, that's actually it's a little bit clever. What you do is you type it here, and we find that what's happened is the game hasn't even started yet, but we already won an award before the game began. The game hasn't started, but you just couldn't help yourself. Well, I suppose I could have, but I didn't. I didn't want to, so there. What else is there? Holding off the inevitable and the inevitable. Okay, for that one, I think we're going to have to rely on the old adventure game trope of looking in our inventory. If I can spell it correctly. I don't know how to inventory. Do I need to look inventory? Do I need to look in pockets, maybe? Yes, I do. Okay, here we go. You check your pockets, you find some pills for stomach relief. It says they take 45 seconds. Oh no, we don't have 45 seconds. What can we do? How do we reduce the pressure in our gut? Well, as many of you may know, humans do have a convenient outgassing system, which can be invoked thus. Oh, it appears that too much pressure has been exerted during this outgassing process, and we in fact failed to obey the prime edict of the game. Okay, I think there is a way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a way around that. What we need to do is supply an adverb. The command to the game begins with a verb, but in this instance we need to supply a gentle adverb. There we go, relief. Now we have, you can see we got, I think that's almost a full minute more time. So now we can, let's see, do I say eat pills or swallow pills? Okay, eat is fine. I think technically that would be swallowing the pills. You don't really eat pills, but we're not going to bicker about semantics in an urgent situation like this. This is, after all, a survival horror game, and this is quite a urgent scenario. Our fine gentleman here has to avoid making a mess. So everything appears to be neat and tidy right now. Let's see if those pills do anything for us in the 45 seconds that they say they take to work. So, how's everyone doing? How's your day going? Just sitting here waiting for our pills to start working, and hopefully not offshoring in our trousers. Yes! Awesome! The pills worked! You did... Uh-oh. Oh dear. Oh well. Maybe they didn't work so well. Actually, they worked well enough to get us 2 more awards. So, yeah, I suppose that that is the nature of the inevitable. If something is inevitable, that means that it will eventually happen no matter what you do. But at least we did delay it for 5 seconds. I think that counts as a pretty substantial victory. So we have just a few awards left. Yes, seppuku. Now, many of you probably have some idea of what seppuku is. I just want to point out that seppuku is not a synonym for suicide. A lot of people seem to think that it's just basically generally any kind of suicide. It's not. It's actually a very specific sort of ritualistic suicide involving a sword. But in this case, it is being sort of used as a metonym for suicide. So you can imagine what we do. During the game, we simply type die. And it seems that our gentleman wearing his white top and cyan trousers obeys our edict, and he conveniently dies on the spot, earning us the seppuku award. So that wasn't actually seppuku, obviously, but it was seppuku. Yes. Giving up is never the answer, or is it? Well, perhaps it is when you're playing Don't Soil Your Trousers. All right, there's only one award up there left. There's the one involving thinking inside the box, which is, as you can imagine, possibly the most normal and most obvious way to play the game. So let's go ahead and once again, let's take off our pantaloons, and let's pull the door, because you might remember that we couldn't push it, no matter how hard we tried. Let's go ahead and seat ourselves on this convenient seating place. And let's go ahead and use this, this porcelain throne for exactly what it's intended for. There we go. And this is basically sort of like potty training for an adult balding man. There we go. And not only did with that we not only achieved the top award, but because we have all the other awards, we also achieved the bottom one. So yeah, we are the king. And if you viewers out there are ladies, then of course you can be the correspondent queen or queens. And if any of you are not quite sure whether you're a king or queen, well, you can be both or neither, or you can make up your own title to suit yourself. And look, we even have a crown. They even put a crown on the title screen. And if we go back to play the game, yes, we have our fine gentleman has a lovely crown on his head, because we are the kings of digestive byproduct. And I think that even the crown is rendered through all the different endings of the game. Like if we go back to Mr. Efficient, yes, Mr. Efficient is now King Efficient. And if you go ahead and make use of the loo, yep. I believe all the screens in the game have been re-rendered to include the crown, which is very convenient because, and very fitting because, again, we are the king of keeping the big train moving. I think my favorite of all is this one, because they actually bothered to set the crown askew. They actually sort of rendered the effect of this fine gentleman falling down and his crown falling off and tumbling to the floor in a tragic epic of failing to not fill our rear passageway. All right, I think that's all. This has been a let's play of let's not pass through the trouser chamber. I'm running out of convenient synonyms, which is probably a good thing because the video's over now. So I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for watching, everyone. And yeah, let's let's take what we've learned here today and remember not to engage in such behavior as we've seen in this game today in real life. It's actually not so much fun to do these things in real life as they are in the game, which is why they have computer games, because we can do these sorts of things without having to experience the unpleasantness that would be associated with this kind of stuff in real life. All right, everyone. Thank you all. Have a great day, and bye-bye for now.